Hi, everyone. My name is Illena Armstrong, and I am the president of the Cloud Security Alliance. Welcome to our annual Cloud Trust Summit, the second day of the Cloud Trust Summit. And I certainly hope that you enjoyed the first, which was filled with a number of experts sharing some guidance, some practical advice. You'll be hearing more from other gifted individuals throughout today. And here I am to kick it off and talk about how CSA is looking to contribute to a stronger compliance and assurance environment. Certainly, we here believe that we're facing this inflection point when it comes to cybersecurity compliance and assurance, and that as a result, we really need to, as leaders of organizations, decide a very strong modern path forward to strengthen our compliance and assurance plans, our cybersecurity controls, you name it. Why we're undergoing this foundational shift is there are a number of reasons. Certainly, there's this convergence of AI, cloud, new regulations from just all sorts of agencies all across the globe, and certainly much more advanced operational risks that now is really demanding the adoption of new strategies. The other thing that's playing a part here is that we're seeing many more stakeholders wanting to see real-time transparency so that they can assure on a constant basis that they have trust in the organizations with which they're working. And these stakeholders run the gamut. They can be regulators, investors, customers, even internal teams who want to know that the organizations they're working with are implementing strong security controls. They have a strong resiliency posture, and they can show this using vendor-neutral frameworks. So that's sort of the state of affairs and what we need to think about is as leaders of organizations. And so the shift we're seeing, what's changing is this move from a traditional assurance model. And we've been seeing this happening for quite some time. People were getting very distrustful of those periodic audits. Sometimes, organizations would do these on an annual basis, which is just no longer tenable any longer. So we saw these static kind of compliance postures, and oftentimes they were based on more traditional sort of controls. Now we're at this time where we need to showcase our continuous monitoring capabilities. We need to have risk-based validation, transparency, and vendor-neutral attestation that we are protecting and safeguarding data, intellectual property, you name it. So what does this mean? And what are some of the things that are driving this sort of crossroads for us? Certainly when it comes to AI, it's a double-edged sword in that obviously many of the corporate members with which we're working, their leaders are absolutely leveraging AI for things like threat detection or anomaly analysis. At the same time, they are quite concerned about how many of the AI solutions sort of present this black box. So they don't necessarily understand, and it sometimes seems that some of the providers don't necessarily want to showcase how they're leveraging the data inputs when companies use AI systems. There's also sometimes unpredictable behaviors that come along with these AI solutions. And so those things are calling for more stronger and perhaps more novel risk models. At the same time, you've got the bad guys, the bad actors leveraging AI as well. And what they're using it for is to power their malware, to power their phishing attacks and their impersonation or misinformation attacks. And it's helping them to increase those attacks and certainly making them much more difficult to catch and to warn folks about. So that's where the AI technologies on the good guy side are such a huge requirement at this point. Also, cloud. Obviously, as we see more organizations adopting multi-cloud implementations, that introduces a level of complexity that requires sharing some of the security responsibility with providers. And we're also seeing more dispersed assets and identities. Sometimes inadvertently, just to do their jobs, our team members might actually enlist some shadow IT that we don't even know about. And so, again, those traditional controls can't scale, and there is a need for continuous validation and integrated tooling. Regulatory mandates are at an all-time high, it seems. We're seeing, more challenging demands from SEC rules, for example, whereby they're telling, those public companies that they have to share a breach disclosure in 4 days. The EU AI Act, one of many that certainly we've seen released all over from different government entities all over the globe, as calling for risk controls, AI system categorization. DORA is mandating that there be stronger incident reporting, risk governance. Then you have the likes of FedRAMP, whose stakeholders are really looking to leverage other industry standards, like what CSA has in its Security, Trust Assurance, and Risk program, to simplify the security assessments and authorization that cloud providers have to go through in order to service different federal agencies. So all of that is quite complex, and it's definitely making compliance and assurance a business liability, which brings us to this business risk alignment component. As we see ransomware and supply chain attacks impact operations and revenue, as we see trust and brand damage sort of crop up because of various and sundry breaches, there absolutely is a growing pressure from investors, from regulators, from customers and clients that organizational leaders understand cybersecurity is a business risk now. And that's been trumpeted for quite some time, but with all of the changes in the regulatory environment that we're seeing, it's now just a mandate. And so it's incumbent on CISOs, chief risk officers, chief compliance officers, all of those folks to make sure that their boards are educated and they understand these assurance expectations so that they build programs that demonstrate in real time trust for all of these different corporate constituents. And so many of the folks with whom we're speaking, many of the CISOs and other leaders that we talk to on a daily basis, are really trying to be more strategic in their response. They're trying to modernize their governance risk compliance mandates. They're looking to push their cybersecurity, IT, and compliance teams to work more closely together. They definitely are trying to shift from this point-in-time compliance to real-time and continuous. It's challenging, but if they adopt some vendor-neutral sort of frameworks, it can happen. And they want to make sure that their cloud implementations, their use of AI, all of these things are connected to evolving risk models that definitely account for the wider business risk. And that requires the engagement and the leadership of the executive, the C-level leaders, and then also the boards of directors. And so here we are, a 16-year-old nonprofit, member-driven, research-driven. We established our Security, Trust Assurance, and Risk program many years ago when we launched to give providers and other entities a way to showcase that the services they offer are adhering to a certain number of cloud security controls under so many domains. In this case, we've got 197 under 17 domains, and that they can then showcase that conformance and receive an attestation and be showcased on our freely available registry on our website. So that's what STAR is all about. And now we're looking to ensure that we address modern requirements, and so are in the midst of developing STAR for AI. We're also strengthening our STAR program by creating a compliance automation revolution, and that effort also is well underway. And of course, the other initiatives I showcase here sort of support these efforts. But STAR for AI really is an extension of our STAR program, and it's going to account for generative AI initially, that is delivered via cloud, but obviously we definitely will look to adapt these controls to other models that are widely used. So we'll continually do that just as we have with our cloud controls matrix. We'll do that with our AI controls matrix as well. And we're working with a number of experts and supporters of our AI safety initiative from the enterprise community, from the cloud provider community, from SaaS providers, all of whom want to embrace these controls and really share that they are their services, their offerings are not opaque, and that they are adhering to some vendor neutral frameworks. So that's well underway, and you certainly can get engaged with us on that front if you wish. And then when it comes to our Compliance Automation Revolution, CAR, we are a bunch of acronymbicals, I like to say. Big nerd, FYI. So it really is an effort to create an AI-driven way to map and harmonize the bevy of regulations with which we're all dealing at this stage. And so sort of leveraging generative AI, large language, machine-readable models, machine-readable frameworks like OSCAL to reach conformance with multiple regulations. It's hugely disruptive, definitely going to be greatly beneficial to companies, but also to the auditors and the consultants that work with them. So we are working with a number of different industry leaders, our auditing partners, our consulting partners, the enterprises they serve, again, to make sure we leverage some of the existing frameworks out there, but then also leverage generative AI to get to this point of continuous assurance and real-time AI-driven audits. So that too is well underway. We have a number of wonderful experts who are contributing, and if you'd like to get involved, you can reach out to me. And then finally, another component of what we do at Cloud Security Alliance and what we are constantly looking to do when it comes to AI and compliance and assurance is education. So we have the certification program for organizations, but now we're developing a certificate and certification program for professionals. And we're doing that in partnership with Northeastern University. And again, we'll be focusing on generative AI, but we'll have a roadmap for looking at broader AI applications. Right now, with this particular launch, this educational program launch, we're going to design our offering to really enable cybersecurity pros and those filling adjacent roles to demonstrate their expertise in AI safety, security, and compliance. There is also a roadmap to build training and certificate programs for the C-suite, as well as for boards of directors as well. We have a pool of individuals who already are volunteering to review and test out all of the modules that we're creating. We are also leveraging the various CXO advisory councils we have through our CXO Trust Initiative, through our AI Safety Initiative, to play roles in helping us to vet this educational program too. So definitely, if you'd like to lend a hand, let me know. But the world is changing, and we're all playing with AI, and we're facing this very new environment and a crossroads that definitely is demanding of us to choose the best path forward. And that is one that definitely leverages AI and certainly make sure that we're addressing all the needs of this wider community. And that's where all of you come into play. So if you'd like to work with us on any of these efforts, please contact me, drop me a line, connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'll gladly get you engaged with us. In the meantime, I certainly hope you enjoy the rest of your day with us and enjoy all the presentations that the lineup of experts have in store for you. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care.